welcome to the channel and welcome to something that is new for our store. If you are familiar with our store, stylisticsjapan.com, you know that we have been running this out of Japan since 2007. And in these past 12 years, we have seen a lot of really cool items come through the shop. So a lot of items from different brands, a lot of stuff that is exclusive to Japan or just otherwise hard to find outside of Japan. And so we figured this would be a good opportunity to kind of showcase and show you some of the items that you might not otherwise get a chance to see up close. And so the item that we have for you today is no exception to that. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. So if you recognize this white box, you already know, but here today we have a pair of footwear from Japanese brand Visvim. This is an item from their current 2019 spring-summer season. It's an item that released just about a week ago and completely sold out immediately everywhere. So these were an FIL exclusive, which means that they were only carried by Visvim's official retail locations and through their online store. This particular pair was an item that a customer of ours had pre-ordered 6 months ago through the trunk show, using our proxy service, so they can consider themselves pretty lucky to have gotten their order in early and secure themselves a pair. So let's go ahead and open it up and see what's inside. So we have the always popular Visvim Christo sandals. And this season we have the Christo Collage sandals. And as you can tell from the big bold print here, these are size extra large, which extra large fits about a US size 11 to 12. If you've ever been to Japan, you know that big feet are not really the norm here. So a lot of these bigger sizes are made in really small numbers, and what they do make typically sells out pretty quickly. So let's go ahead and open up the box. So what we have on top here is we have the cloth dust bag. So this is something that Visvim includes with all their footwear. It's just a cloth bag, little leather pull tab here. You can use it to store your shoes. I'll be honest, I don't really know a whole lot of people who use them, but it's nice to have. So let's go ahead and peel back the paper and kind of give you a look at what the actual item is. So there you get your first little sneak peek of it. And there they are. So the Visvim Christo Collage sandals. So I have to say, we've been doing this for 12 years. I think I've probably sold close to 100 pairs of Christos over the years, all sorts of different iterations, all sorts of different colorways. I have to say, first impression, I think these might be my favorite. So what Visvim really does well is they kind of mix traditional Americana with kind of traditional Japanese, and I think these are a great example of that. We kind of have this traditional sort of American check print, some more traditional Japanese kind of patterns and materials. It's a really kind of good example of Visvim's aesthetic. So what you have here is kind of a cotton upper. It looks like there may be a little bit of a linen blend here mixed in as well. I have the contrast kind of material here around the edges. Like I said, these are a size 12, so they fit between US 11, or they're a size extra large. They fit between a US 11 and 12, and that's because we have these sort of nylon straps here, and then you also have Velcro underneath these flaps, so they are adjustable, which is nice. Then we also have the leather tab here. This is a hand-painted leather tab. They do different designs each season, so this is the one for 2019, spring-summer. That's a nice little touch there. And then you'll notice also these have a suede footbed. Other iterations that they've done in the past have had leather footbeds, or they've had sort of like light whale corduroy. The suede is a really nice touch. So then if we flip them over, you'll notice that they do use the Vibram sole here. Vibram soles are really great. They're nice, kind of hard-wearing, long-lasting soles. The soles that they use on their sneakers, and this one in particular, and on the sandals, they are not replaceable like they are on some of the boots. However, I do know from personal experience that if you take it to the right shop, the right repair shop or the right cobbler, they can be repaired. So I don't know if Visvim will do it themselves, but if you find the right repair shop, basically what they'll do is once the sole or once the heel has kind of worn down enough, what they can do is sort of cut it at an angle, and they'll sort of apply either a piece of rubber or some sort of material that matches the outsole here. which will give you a little extra life to the shoes. But like I said, if you're familiar with Vibram soles, you know that these kind of wear pretty well. So that's not something that you would have to worry about in the near future. So overall first impressions, I do have to say, again, probably one of my favorite Christos to date, if not the most favorite. And you may also recognize these, and if you think these look familiar, it may be because these were actually featured in a spread that GQ did with John Mayer recently, where John Mayer was showcasing some of his own personal collection pieces. He had a shot with a few pairs of Christo sandals. I don't know if they were actually part of his own personal collection or if they were on loan to him, a sample pair from the trunk show. But you will see them if you look into that GQ spread. If you are familiar with Visvim, you know that retail prices can be pretty expensive. This particular pair retailed, I believe, on the US web store for just over $1,000, and the Japanese retail price was not a great deal cheaper than that. So new Visvim can be pretty expensive. But the great thing about Visvim is that if you look into used, you can usually find stuff in really great condition for a fraction of the price. So we actually have a lot of lightly used Visvim on our site now at stylisticsjapan.com for well under retail prices and in excellent conditions. So I think that's a really great way to kind of build your collection. And one of the great things about Visvim is that they don't typically design their products based on trends. So they do kind of stick to themes each season, somewhat loosely, but it's not really trend driven, which means that you can kind of go back into Visvim's back catalog. You can go back 2, 4, 6, even 8, 10 years back, and pieces from those older collections really won't look all that dated, and they'll fit in quite nicely with your collection that you have now. So it's really a great way to kind of build a collection of Visvim at kind of a fraction of the retail price. If you are looking for new season Visvim, if you're looking for kind of newly released stuff, we do offer proxy services. We also order pre-order services. So if it's an item that is set to release or an item that has already released, as long as it's current season, as long as it's an item that's kind of a recent release, what we'll do is we'll take a deposit and then we can try to source the item for you here in Japan. So it's a good way to kind of get items that may not be available overseas, or just to save a little bit of money, as Japanese retail prices can be sometimes be a bit cheaper than what you'll find overseas. So we'll go ahead and leave a link to that below as well. But yeah, really amazing piece here. And I think that if you're not familiar with Visvim, I definitely recommend checking out some of their pieces. And maybe start to slowly build yourself a collection. It's something that you'll probably have with you for a long time. So I hope you enjoyed it. We're going to have a lot more videos like this from a lot of stuff from Visvim, a lot of stuff from other brands as well, to kind of give you a peek at some of these things. So definitely stay tuned here. Follow us on Instagram. We'll leave the link below. On Instagram, you can also find information about new items that are hitting our shop, and other sort of information like sales and all that. So definitely stay tuned, and we hope to hear from you soon. So take care. Peace.